What's up guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Realistic Career Mode. This is episode number 67. We're starting today's episode by simulating through to our next game against Leicester at home in the Premier League, coming on the back of our 3-0 win over the Hatters, Luton Town, in the FA Cup third round. And the reason I did this is because we'd see who we got in the fourth round of the FA Cup, and there you go. Once again, it's another Championship side chasing promotion in real life. Huddersfield Town not giving up the ghost, still trying to challenge Bournemouth for a top 2 finish, or second place I should say, in the Championship this season. Of course, as I mentioned in the last episode, the time I'm recording this video, I haven't seen the following fixtures, so Huddersfield Town might now be guaranteed to finish in the playoff, might still have a chance of going up automatically, but even so, having a great season over the Terriers. They had a really good run in mid-season, and yeah, to Huddersfield Town, they've definitely got a chance of going up via the playoffs, if not automatically, for next season, and trying to get a return to Premier League football for Huddersfield Town. So yeah, they're struggling in the game though, just like Luton. Luton also, chasing a playoff place in the Championship this season, but in the game, not having a great season. But the Terriers away, definitely fancy my chances there, and a golden opportunity to reach the last 16 of the FA Cup in our first year as Chelsea manager, as I try and win it back to back with 2 different teams. Has any manager ever done that? I'm sure someone has. I'm trying to think. That's a really interesting trivia question. Has any manager, or possibly player, won an FA Cup back-to-back with 2 different teams? That's a really, I'll tell you, I'm going to look that up after I finish recording this audio. Definitely, that's a really interesting trivia question there. Anyway, first game of today's episode, Leicester City at Stamford Bridge. Massive game here with the Foxes chasing a European place for next season. They finished in 5th last year, narrowly missed out on the Champions League, and as we know, they got a really good team. We drew goalless at the King Power, now taking on at Stamford Bridge on the back of 3 straight wins for Chelsea in all competitions. A much needed decent run of form after a really tough patch. With 23 minutes in, we fell behind, and this guy made amends. Frank Kessie, the former Milan midfielder, do you remember in the game at the King Power in the reverse fixture? Missed a penalty, Mendy saved it. It could have been a big win for Leicester. Instead, he missed from 12 yards. We'll talk about taking the armband, leading by responsibility, and making amends for your error. Yeah, Declan Rice, a transfer target of mine for next season, backheels it to Kessie, and the former Milan midfielder puts the Foxes in front at snowy Stamford Bridge. So down by a goal, and with 7 minutes to go for the break, should have been back on level terms. Mason Mount missing, let's be honest, here a bit of a sitter as we were still down by a goal. And I'll be honest, I was not playing well. Not to make excuses, but the snow is my least favourable playing condition to play in. I think it is for most people, really. We're down by a goal, wasn't getting that many chances. I missed a golden one in the first half. I couldn't miss another one in the second half with very little opportunities being created. We got one, we took it. And it's that man once again, Callum, saying, Gaffer, what have I got to do to be a regular star in this team? Well, I mentioned before, he's doing nothing wrong. The problem is the players ahead of him in the pecking order are just a little bit better. Simple as that. Pulisic on the left-hand side, Dembele and Havertz on the right. He's got Thuram to compete with as well. It's just a very stacked wide midfield position in this Chelsea team. Even though he scored our leveller, made it 1-1, and in stoppage time in a really good game, both teams going for a late winner. Oh, wouldn't you just know it? Both our defeats this season have come at the Bridge. And there's our third. Bernardo Silva, former Man City man, with the goal, makes it 2-1, and it's Agent Bernardo Silva. You best believe after the game, Pep Guardiola would have given him a phone call and said, thanks for that one, mate, because he gives Man City a chance to get right back in this title race with the game winner. Such a tough game though. It could have gone either way. It was a really balanced game. Could have gone either way, and in the end Leicester nicked it to death. I wasn't too disappointed about it because again it was a really even contest, and in the end it came down to add more composure in the dying stages. That was Leicester City. Final score 2-1. As you can see, well, talk about relief. Could have dropped to second on goal difference had Man City won their fixture. In the end, they do cut the gap by a point, but to 2. We are still in first place, just keeping Guardiola's side at bay. 16 games to go. And I gotta be honest, man, like seriously, I'm feeling the pressure big time right now. We had 3 wins in a row for the first time in a long time in all competitions, but we have not been in great form for a while now. And in this mid-season period here in December and January, really big months I feel in the footballing calendar, I'm starting to feel the nerves and I'm starting to feel the pressure. If we can't get a consistent run of form going, there's no doubt about it, Man City will overtake us. You know AI form is so OP. Man City are one of the best teams in the world. Yeah, there's no doubt about it. If I can't get a consistent run of wins and string a few together, then we will be caught up and we will drop to second. So for the following game, I needed a response. Big loss at Stamford Bridge. Now another big game here in the snowy conditions, taking on Crystal Palace, but I couldn't blame the conditions for the loss against Leicester. I simply wasn't at my best in this game. I needed to be. 25 minutes in, we had the lead, and this is why Hudson-Odoi still can't get that consistent game time. Captain America, with a brilliant bending effort from just outside the area, gives us the opener with his 5th in 16. 1-0 Chelsea, great strike by the former Dortmund winger. We have the lead. Lukaku hit the crossbar 14 minutes in as we were still up by a goal, looking for that 2-goal cushion, and right before the break here, a chance for Palace to get back on level terms. Great save by Mendy, but in back-to-back fixtures he scored against me. I talked about him before, the former Reading midfielder. He is a really bright prospect to look out for as the years go by. Michael Olise, fantastic finish on the volley with the ball coming towards him at close proximity. Keeps his composure, puts Palace back on level terms. It's 1-1 as the former Reading midfielder levels it at Selhurst Park. 25 minutes to go and I couldn't afford another slip-up. Had to win this game, otherwise I knew Man City would leapfrog us and would drop to second for the first time this season. 25 minutes on the clock. Dembele, what a first touch and finish from the French winger, and the former Barca and Dortmund man puts us back in front. Relief at Selhurst Park, clinging on to the 1-goal lead. Palace playing a high press, we work the ball around them and a chance to wrap it up, get the 2-goal cushion and the 3 points. And I love to see this. Dembele looking for his brace, selflessly rolls it across, and who's there to turn in from close range? Jong Sang-bin. 2nd goal of the season for our South Korean forward, off the bench in both of the goals he scored to make it 3-1. I made a big change as well tactically, switched to 4 at the back and brought on Jong for Fikayo Tomori. Really changed things up, and in the end the gamble proved to pay off. Chelsea up by 3 goals to 1. No, late on, I did think this was really funny. This was totally unintentional here, but Palace got a consolation goal in stoppage time to make it 3-2, but Dembele just wanted another assist, I think. I mean, that was completely unintentional. I don't know how the ball ricocheted so badly off his foot there, but a simple finish made it 3-2. Thankfully, Dembele joined another assist for his FPL team, but in the end, we held on for the win. Final score 3-2 at Selhurst Park, and a big win there. And once again, another victory, which you would say was a hard-fought one, but I'll take it. It's a 3-2 win. We're back to winning ways, and for now, we keep Manchester City at bay. They continue to breathe down our necks. It is still incredibly tight, but we are still top for now. 15 games to go in the Premier League season, and we are still clinging on to top spot. Still following the win, as you can see, we're going to loan Harvey Vale out to Newcastle United. A really great young talent, Harvey Vale. He's not going to get a game in this team. If I can't get Hudson-Odoi much game time, Harvey Vale's got very little chance. I'm going to loan him out to St James's Park. Hopefully, he will get some game time there in the North East, where he's had a bit for Chalobah. And as you can see, as my manager rating continues to drop, it really is plummeting recently. And I guess I'm not too surprised, because our run of form hasn't exactly been superb, but we're now down to 65 for manager rating. So clearly the Chelsea board's starting to wonder, is it time to pull the plug on this experiment earlier than planned? Well, we've been asked to win a domestic double this season. We still have a chance of doing that, but there's a long way to go, and with our lead at the top of the table being cut significantly, yep, there's no doubt about it. The Chelsea hierarchy thinking, do we make a mistake hiring this man as the new head coach? Well, 3rd and final game of today's episode. Couldn't think about that. All I had to do was do my job. Huddersfield Town away from home in Yorkshire, taking on the Terriers, chasing promotion in real life, back to the Premier League. Well, what a perfect start. 6 minutes in, we had the breakthrough. Kai Havertz with the goal, and I love this assist. Cross into the middle, and Tammy Abraham with the chest flick assist. That was glorious from our number 18, and we lead away in Yorkshire. And heading into the game, you would have seen, you know, I rotated a few of my players, but it was still a really strong lineup. Taking no chances, man. Absolutely not. Gotta win a domestic double. Gotta avoid this potential giant killing, if you will. Is it a giant killing? I guess you could probably consider it that, I suppose. But even so, leading early through Kai Havertz. 31 minutes in, it's that man once again. Callum Hudson-Odoi. I said he'd get more game time this year coming back to Stamford Bridge. And to be fair, he has had quite a few minutes, not being as consistent in the first team as he would like, but whenever he does play, he always seems to get a goal. Another one there, and Callum puts us 2 goals up. Breathing room early, exactly what we needed, as we had an early 2-goal lead, and then 5 minutes for the break here, up by 2. I thought Kante kept the ball in play for this moment here, and I don't know whether I was frustrated by this or not, because I didn't think the ball had trickled out for a throw. I guess you got to trust the fact that the game always gets it right, but even so, 5 minutes to go. Well, is this a red card? I mean, Fikayo Tomori dives in. I don't know about that personally. He wins the ball very cleanly. He takes a lot of the man, but he gets the ball very cleanly first. I've got to say, 2 refereeing decisions there that made me think, huh, that's a little bit debatable, but even so, down to 10 men, Tomori sent off right before the break, but the question was, would we fold, would we collapse, would we let the Terriers back in it, or would we get a 3rd goal, even with a man disadvantage? It was the latter. Kai Havertz bagged his brace and wrapped it up late on, final score, even with 10 men, Huddersfield Town 0, Chelsea 3. Wasn't sure about the red card personally, gotta be honest, I thought it was a soft one. I think if it's a foul, then fair enough, but a yellow card would suffice. A red seemed very harsh indeed. He'll be out of the next league game, because that's how suspensions work in FIFA career mode, and we do progress to the following round of the FA Cup, but despite the big win there, well, as you can see, 15 games to go. The gap is still only 2 on Man City and only 4 on Liverpool and the Red Devils. And with Spurs next, who have been one of the 3 teams to beat us this season, I've got to be honest, I'm still feeling a lot of pressure. But that will end today's episode of the Realistic Career Mode, guys. Big fan of you, if you enjoyed it. If you haven't, please drop a like. Most love to you all. Have a fantastic day, and I'll see you for the next episode of the Realistic Career Mode very soon.